This is the muscular aspect of the face. So we are starting from the forehead. This is the frontalis, the fronto-occipitalis. Basically, this muscle is fronto-occipitalis, and in between there is the epicranial aponeurosis. The blue one is the epicranial aponeurosis. This is the temporalis, the frontalis, the auricularis, and the valleys of occipitalis. This is the orbicularis ocula. This one is the orbital part, the outer one, and the inner one is the palpebral part. Now, this is the nasalis, and these two bellies are the levator labii superioris alique nasi. These two bellies are levator labii superioris alique nasi, and this is levator labii superioris. This is zygomaticus minor, zygomaticus major, the buccinator, rhizorius, masseter, the parotid gland, parotid duct, and this is the orbicularis oris. This one is depressor anguli oris, and this is the depressor labii inferioris mentalis. Now the muscles of the neck, the most prominent is the sternocleidomastoid. It has the single origin and two insertions on the sternum and on to the clavicle. This is the sternal head and this is the clavicular head, and this is the origin and here is the insertion. So this is sternocleidomastoid, and just posterior to it is a major muscle, the trapezius. This is semispinalis capitis, the splenius capitis, the scalene anterior or scaleneus anterior, and scalene posterior. This is the hyoid bone and the lower aspect of the mandible. This one is the mylohyoid muscle. This is the anterior belly of the digastric, and this is the posterior belly of the digastric. And just above the posterior belly of the digastric is the stylohyoid muscle. Now, this is the omohyoid muscle. This one is the thyrohyoid muscle. This is the sternohyoid muscle, and this is the sternothyroid. This is the mid-sagittal section. So we start from the nose. This is the lateral wall of the nose. This is the superior concha, the middle concha, the inferior concha. This is the superior meatus, the middle meatus, and the inferior meatus. And this is the opening of the eustachian tube. And here is the sphenoethmoidal recess. This is the nasal bone, the frontal bone, and the sphenoid bone. This is the sphenoid ear sinus, the frontal ear sinus, and this is the hard palate, the soft palate, the uvula, the pharyngeal tonsils, the palatine tonsils, and this is the posterior pharyngeal wall. Now this is known as the nasopharynx. This portion is known as the oropharynx, and this is the laryngopharynx. This is the laryngeal inlet. This blue leaf-like structure is the epiglottis. This is the thyroid cartilage, the cricoid cartilage, the hyoid bone, and the mandible. And this is the false vocal cord, the true vocal cord, and the ventricle. And this is the larynx, the inside of the larynx. Now the muscles. This is the orbicularis oris, and here this one is the mylohyoid muscle, this one is the genohyoid muscle, and this is the genoglossus muscle. This is the palatine tonsil, and just anterior to the palatine tonsil is the platoglossal arch, and just posterior is the platopharyngeal arch. This is the frontal plane. Now let's start from the eyes. This is the eyeball, the retina, and these are the recti, the medial rectus, lateral rectus, superior rectus and superior oblique, inferior rectus and inferior oblique. And here on the lateral side, this is the lacrimal gland. And then this is the frontal bone. It's also the frontal bone. This one is the zygomatic portion, and this one is the maxillary portion, the maxilla. The maxillary ear sinus, the nose, and this is the septum of the nose, the middle concha, the inferior concha, the superior meatus, the middle meatus, and the inferior meatus, along with the maxillary ear sinus. Now this is the vestibule of the mouth on both sides, teeth, and this is the mandible. Now this is the platysma. Here is the mylohyoid, the genohyoid, and the genoglossus, along with the submandibular gland. And this is the temporalis. This is the model of the head. Now this is the mid-sagittal plane. Now on this surface, the lateral wall of the nose, the superior concha, the middle concha, the inferior concha, the superior meatus, middle and the inferior meatus, the sphenoethmoidal recess, the pharyngeal recess, pharyngeal tonsils, opening of the eustachian tube, the soft palate, the hard palate, and the muscles of the tongue, mylohyoid, genohyoid, and genoglossus. Teeth, the vestibule of the mouth, the orbicularis oris, and the mentalis. This is the epiglottis, the false vocal cord, true vocal cord, and the ventricle. This is thyroid cartilage and the cricoid cartilage. Between the hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage, there is a membrane or ligament known as the thyrohyoid ligament, and between the cricoid and the thyroid cartilage, there is a ligament known as the cricothyroid ligament.